Hey, hope you're all having a nice evening. Actually, being in this pre-scene here while I was getting ready, did, let me see, one of our issues for a long time where I always was wondering if there's a mod solution for it. Hey mate, maybe you actually know Metzger, but I guess you're also not the biggest train nerd, but something I've realized happening a lot in our build is that I have two trains following right behind each other and very bad splitting between. And then forever there is not a single train coming. And at least to my knowledge, there's not much I can do about that. But I'm curious if that's a problem that other people run into, and if so, how they would fix it. And actually, this is probably gonna be slightly annoying because we have some decals here ready. But we're gonna try to work around it. We definitely need to assemble many of these just quickly placed loaders that are not assembled at all yet. Nah, it is gonna be a bit finicky because we've, well, not for these. Okay, that's actually nice. For the further back ones, we don't. For this one, we have decals everywhere, so we need to trick a bit and move it into the air and position it then. And how are you doing today, Mats girl? Nice to have you in here, as always. And again, I know you're most excited for the mine. We are making progress to tackle it more and more, but yeah, for now, still, I don't feel entirely ready to tackle it yet. I did do a bit off stream though, so I can show you what changed, and we're getting closer and closer to it. We have to move even higher. Holy, it's so annoying. Because I think we both talked about it in the past and we're using the same technique and we just move it up and then we move it back with move it. But if you rotate something and then you use the reverse in move it, it doesn't stay. So for what I'm doing here, that's sadly not sustainable and we actually manually will have to move this. Welcome, cuties. Nice to see all of you. Why did that just happen? See, now I use move it, and now he just changed the tease adjustment we did. It's so weird, and nice to see you here, Baloo and Elgando. How are the two cuties of you doing this nice evening? Maybe we actually get something done today, because my weekend streams, because I don't usually stream much on the weekend, are generally somewhat slow compared to my normal streams. Which does also mean that it's usually when I get a bit more proper building done. So let's see, maybe today is a day where we actually build properly and get something done instead of just getting sidetracked. Which, knowing me, will probably end up just getting sidetracked. But yes, I can show you real quick, because I done some things off stream. Not a world, but this is the area we've been working on lately. I have to admit, I mainly ignored this area. So I've not done much here, but what I did change quite a lot on is this area up here. We had this very roughly drawn out the last time. I actually went in and beside Sims properly detailed out this site, which again, Elgando doors and Elgando shutters coming in absolutely clutch, so are your industrial signs. Really, your industrial signs, I know I said it 1,000 times, but I love and hate them at the same moment. Because look at how much they add for something here. But also, now I notice this, I have to go over every building and do it everywhere. But yes, this part of it, I'm quite happy with. Especially here, I think is where your windows really shine in something that's just an empty box like this. Because this does not have any doors or windows, right? We just place this here because this thing is a lot bigger and higher than we're using it. But as always, what I love doing is moving things into the ground to get them a bit smaller than they are, and then obviously we're losing doors and everything. So with your things, I can now finally do that and get away with it, because I can just get my own doors and entrance back in there. I think actually the coolest part that we're using here, that we will have to clean up a bit because the terrain is not optimal yet here, but is this. Because again, we're using this to lower it into the ground. If we have an actual look at Uppsala, the building, not the rock, then this is the building, right? I don't like the building, I don't like the warehouse, I don't like the middle place. I just like this small part here at the end with the rock grinder, because I think it fits so well. And this is perfect, because here we can manage to hide the entire building. We keep that very little decoration up here that I actually quite enjoy and I think works perfectly fine by itself. So I actually like and appreciate this. And the entire ugly part disappears, and then this is the part I actually love, because I think it's thematically just so goddamn fitting to our build that I love it. We actually can have some workers throw in the material here, and then we transport it. Still very ugly, we definitely have to clean this up, but we transport it down here. And then have a lot of, again, this is not detailed yet, we have to fix this area up as well, but I'm trying to work out the entire area. And it's starting to actually come together due to things like this. I'm a big fan of this. This entire area, I started detailing a very little. In fact, I already put signage and like plants and everything, but the actual proper detailing here is still missing. That's definitely something we tackled today. Huh? And thank you, Baloo. Happy to hear. Honestly, I'm having so much fun with this area, and I know we've been taking a very, very long time for this mine. But then the truth is also, if we look at the entirety of the mine and Los Vagos, the mine is gigantic, right? If we look at Los Vagos, I built on Los Vagos for 5 months, maybe, something like that. 5.5 by now, probably. So an area as big as the mine we see here in the lower bottom taking us longer than just a week, I do think is very understandable due to how massive this actually turned out after all. It's actually massive. Which I'm super happy with. Like, I always was thinking that, like, in my head, Los Vagos is a small rural town that came here because there is a railway and because there is a mine, right? But then the mine we had looked really bad and I don't know, I didn't like it. But now we're slowly getting there. And a few more of those things, because I think something... Yeah, by now actually, you're totally right. Like, if we look at the Botanic Garden, which is all of this below where I'm going with the cursor, and then we look at the mine, it's roughly half of the build. So yes, it also makes sense that both of those builds took me a long time. So for a while I started to be a bit rushed and I was like, oh my god, we're in the mine so long, I have to give you guys something new and be more entertaining. But now I understood how big the area is we're working on. I feel a bit more relaxed, like I can just keep going and doing what we want. But here is another thing, and I think this is actually a lesson that I learned playing this game and a lesson that people should copy from what I learned when building industry. I think connections are really important. Something like this, right? This is just two morphed, this is a garage and this is a warehouse, and we morphed them into each other. This is an element that, oh god, we can't use picker any. We're here because we have decals everywhere. But these pipes we're using them in the bottom as well. I think they're super nice to connect things with each other and actually get some rural detail you have in there. Because now look at this, like this clearly is some kind of storage warehouse, and we actually transport the materials with a pipe over here. And then here we have trucks that don't fully fit under it. Looking at this, we definitely have to ignore what I just showed you. You guys see nothing. It's gonna look fine in a moment. But yeah, obviously we have to raise this slightly so they actually fit under there. Barely, we even have to do a little terraforming to fully get away with it. Oh, actually no, this should be fine. Well, very barely. We'll fix that up in a moment. But I think some small details like this is what really adds a lot to make industry believable and also make industry unique and have their own twist in it. So again, we will have to do a lot of like building and detailing up in this area and finish up this area down here. And here I've been trying a very little. I mean, we mainly did this on stream the last time to progress this a bit. What I did off stream, and it's a very small detail, but I do think it actually brings the build together a lot better, is adding these trails, right? Because eventually I want these trails everywhere here in the mountainside to connect things. Maybe even myself or Metzger or Jay, whoever feels motivated and finds time, can find a moment to build some very shitty wood walkways and staircases, so we can even maybe connect this one with a small trail here and then a staircase up here and something like that to really, again, make this a believable area that actually has exchange between everything. Surely this house is not connected yet. We can bring a trail along here, for example, and then, yeah, connect all of that. Really, I did not have much time, so not much happened off stream, but I was trying around. And if Elgando is still here, I can show you something very weird happening here. Because do you see this? This is probably my fault, and you have nothing to do with this. Because I just deleted the maps, I changed nothing in the JSON or anything of these decals. And this is what happened to them afterwards. They all get this weird blue shimmer and get very weird with lighting in general. Like even if we take a new one of these, if we snap, they have very nice light sometimes. If we don't snap, they're very dark, but then depending on the angle, they become very light suddenly. I am a bit confused what's going on here. I'm sure Elgando did everything right and all the blame is on me with whatever is happening here. But you do see what confuses me, right? Because this does not have a map anymore. And we don't have snapping. But me just turning it slightly, you see what happens to the light of this? I changed nothing. Nothing. Not a single thing I changed in this decal besides going into the folder and deleting the normals. So, very confused. Holy goddamn shit. Welcome in, Clovis, and thank you so much. I'm so bad at Twitch that I don't even realize what that relates to, but that must be a lot. So thank you, very generous, very appreciated. And hope you're having a nice evening, Clovis. Yeah, but I don't understand, because I didn't do anything. Holy shit. Elgando, or not only Elgando, everybody in chat literally just got gifted by Clovis. This is the biggest hype train I ever had, so very, very appreciated and big thank you. That's very cute of you, Clovis, and I like the sound of you having an amazing day. What is the reason for you having such an amazing day? Nice you do have it, but what is the event letting you have such a nice day? But yeah, very, very kind of you and very appreciated. You can watch me and Elgando together being confused about what is going on here with this decal. Because you guys can see what's happening here, right? Like, this shouldn't be happening, but just turning it this slightly. Oh, did your work situation finally... Yeah, maybe I messed the decal. I'm sure I did something, but I don't know what I did. But did it finally resolve in your work situation that you have some full clearance or clearness on what is going on in the future? Because if so, congratulations, that is very nice. I will send it back to you after stream. I can't do so while streaming because my computer is shit and I can't do too many things at once. But yeah, I will do so, because when this thing is smooth, this looks absolutely amazing, but I somehow broke this decal, so it doesn't look as amazing anymore. But we will, after we fix this decal, and then we can match this all properly, work out this area. So, just wondering what I did. Oh, that's so cool, Clovis. Congratulations. Like, great news on both of that. And welcome in, Michael. As always, amazing to see you here. So, big pleasure. In fact, I'm not sure. I think you've seen a very, very early part of this mine. But I am not sure if you've seen any of this properly detailed out yet. I am so happy with what we have done here so far, and then also with what we still have to do. So honestly, just look at the size of this, Michael. You remember how this looked in the past. It's actually getting really, really cute in comparison to what it was. And thanks again, Clovis. And also, welcome in, Riza. This is you, Riza, right? Like, I'm confused, because you have different name in Twitch and YouTube and everywhere else. But I think this is you. But yeah, very, very cute, and welcome in. Holy shit, Clovis actually seems to be having the day of his life, and I'm very grateful and thankful for it, but don't dash anything out of there, you would, that hurts you. But yeah, very cute of you, thanks, mate. And yeah, I think we've been doing a lot of progress. Sadly, the one thing that is very annoying in all of these areas is that we're gonna have to spend a lot of time on really small things, like angles of these bulldozers to make this really feel right, but it is annoying. And yeah, okay, then I did not mistake that, because I did see that you have the name in YouTube, but I wasn't sure if this is also your Twitch account or it isn't. How come you decided to have a different name for everything? Yeah, so cool. Like, Clovis had little time lately, and you know, Clovis is one of my like main supporters and viewers. So having Michael and Clovis in here in the same evening is very cute. We are gonna have to find some way to give Baloo that role, because Baloo is the absolute a propaganda minister in our city by now. Baloo has so many good ideas for this mine, for example. Yeah, okay, fair enough. If you can't change, it's the same for me. Why my name on PDX is like not Booty Addict, but Senor Tonti. So yeah, I feel that a lot. But here, what I was about to say, this monument we just have because of Baloo. Because Baloo kept saying that we need to strengthen the motivation of our workers and we need to inspire them with El Presidente's hand. So here we have the workers admiring our presidency and gathering motivation for their workday. And surely this has nothing to do with them working very motivated. But we always, or everywhere nowadays in this place, have police protecting our glorious mines and our glorious metals so nobody can steal our progress. And I love it. I love that so much. Yes, this is the statue. To be fair, I am not the one who invented this. I've seen other people do this and I just copied it because I thought it's a genius idea. But it's literally just a statue, but then lowered into the ground really deeply and then just having the hand show out. So yeah, really cool. I've seen Rookie Thomas do exactly this in his build, and I thought it's a glorious idea, and we have so little variety, sadly, in these things, so I was very happy. And thanks so much for the follow, Riza. I was gonna check out your surfaces, because Riza makes a lot of cool surfaces lately. The problem is that, especially the elegant surfaces, sadly nothing in Los Vagos is elegant. We're shit town county pretty much, so I don't think I'll have that much use for your elegant surface, but then for builds that are not as trashy as mine, they seem very different. Yeah, I seen that you put out more, but both of the newest packs you've done have been pretty luxurious and elegant, and then yeah, just look at those Vagos. It's neither luxurious nor elegant, so it's not something I'm probably gonna use here. Yeah, the old city ones, I mean, I even messaged you about this because you know how I feel about them. I think they are beautiful surfaces. I sadly think the tiling of them is too big for me to make much use for it, because my city is so small that I need somewhat small working surfaces as well. And yeah, with that, I'm not loving them. The surfaces itself are amazing, and especially for these being your first surfaces you're making, good times ahead if you can just keep sticking to it. Well, see, the Amazon Prime sub is appreciated but not important, but what is totally necessary for our city to survive is your propaganda, because else I'm sure soon I'm gonna have citizens revolting against my politics. Yeah, don't worry, mine, it's not mine either, like I'm German, it's why I tell myself, surely that is not true, but I tell myself I sound more intelligent in German, because it's my actual first language, and then in English I feel like my vocabulary is terrible. I can speak okay, but I'm searching for words quite a lot. Yeah, no one made that, Jay. Why have you not made that? I mean, the reason I actually wholeheartedly think it's not great to make those combined, especially for what I'm doing, because I think it's really cool that I can do this, Jay. And I could not do this if you pre-combine them, but if you're working on flat ground and you would make like 3 different variations with them turned a little, and yeah, that would be a huge time saver. And welcome in, James. And again, thank you so much, Clovis. Clovis actually celebrating today, and I'm honored that it's in my chat. I sadly think my citizens always complain. I would agree with you, and I do think they should also be honored living in Los Vagos, but then people ask for something like actual asphalt roads, which I think is totally unnecessary. In fact, the entire budget we have for the next year of Los Vagos is already planned for my next holiday residence. So new roads are not doable. I've been wondering something to us CS1 players, because every once in a while when I watch people play CS1, and I played CS1 but only 30 hours and unmodded. When I watched Andy, Amateur Andy, for example, in CS1 there was something where all of these adjusts with the terrain and automatically takes the correct angles. Because I spent so much time in this mine area just doing this, like looking at the truck and then being like, oh no, this is not correct, I'd have to turn it slightly like this. Is there no way how this can be a bit more handy than what I'm doing? I mean, we're not gonna shy out on effort, but yeah, it is a lot of effort for not that much effect. Okay, now we finally corrected these. We can actually go in here with surfaces and decals. I swear Baloo is the modern Shakespeare of propaganda, because these words are just beautiful to me. We will eventually build a prison, and you can own the prison, but. And now here I'm very undecisive so far, because I have no clue how we want to do this. Probably a very good option for this would be the Gaga surfaces, especially this one, to give this a bit more look. Maybe we're also gonna work with decals instead, but I wanna just have a quick look at the options. This one could be a good option for us to bring some dirt into the area. I think this one also would be a solid option for us. Probably blend those together to make it a bit thinner. Actually, Balloon, done. You get your propaganda chat in my Discord, because honestly, eventually, if you keep posting things like this, I will have to make a decal poster series with propaganda posters we can put everywhere in our city. I always wanted to make political posters, but then I do think it's tricky to bring actual real-life politics into the game. But if it's our own propaganda for our own imaginary Los Vagos, then I think that's perfectly fine. Again, I want to have a look as well as at the rock surfaces from Gaga here, if we can use some of the smaller ones. Welcome in, Urban. And Clovis, does you celebrating today also mean we're gonna get in the pleasure of more Clovis streams again in the next week? Because obviously life goes first, and I know you've been busy, but I would assume now things look upwards a bit. You stream a bit more again? Or I should say, I wouldn't assume, but I would hope. IE24, nice to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, Elgando is our king, but I don't understand what is Pip. I don't follow. Well, sleep. You can always sleep when you're done, so I guess he will sleep sometime in the future. And hilariously, even though this was meant not at all as in we want to use any of those surfaces, I already don't hate it. It's a bit too dark, because I want this a bit more sandy than it is. But not bad. Honestly, I want to try that, Jay, because that is a good idea. Let's see if what Jay recommends is gonna work for us here. Because what Jay means is he wants us to put them like this and like this, and we still will have to adjust them properly to each other. But maybe we can avoid having to do the angle manually if we put this on brush strength, I don't know, 1. Make the circle nice and small around here, and we... Oh, hold on, we have... Do I have transform block? Yes, I have transform block, of course. So, yes, need to turn transform block off for that method. And then... Jay is correct, kinda. I don't think this is gonna be optimal, but yes, it saves us some of the work at least. At this point, we would just have to... I mean, yes and no, kinda actually. It's not that bad. Yes, thank you. Good idea, Jay. I will try to do that in future, because yeah, this worked pretty flawlessly on first try. Yeah, I mean, I would rather place with transform block and then manually turn transform block off. Otherwise, I forget to turn on transform block again, and then I'll break my build in future and tilt over myself. So, yes and no, but is great. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that, to be honest. It is a very common trick, but yeah, I keep forgetting about it. Ah, okay. Now I can follow Elgando. And I would never fool anybody to make assets, of course not. Sorry, I'm gonna go and delete those and we're gonna redraw those smoother, because again, I don't like the color we add. I wanna have a really quick look here, because there is one of these rocks that is pretty bright. They are shoveling dirt. Yes, of course. This is our quarry. This is a literal sand mine. I know in the game we don't have sand as a resource, but then sand is the most used resource in any construction. So yes, they're literally shoveling sand. Luckily, we're in the middle of the desert, so getting sand is not that difficult, but unironically, the answer is yes. We are totally shoveling sand. So yes. Also rock, but not only rock. I mean, when is Clovis not everywhere? Man always supports the entire community at once. I mean, yeah, sure, but then you're laughing. The biggest sand pits in the world are in deserty countries, so while this seems silly, it's not actually unrealistic. And even if it would be unrealistic, truth is, would we care in Los Vagos? Not really. In Los Vagos, we don't fully care about logic, we care about visuals. And this already is a one too big, but there is a smaller version of exactly... Is it this already? Was there not the middle one? I guess we'll actually just use this very slight one then. I want to have a look at all of them real quick because I keep mixing them up. Obviously, these very extreme ones are all too much for us. This one, meanwhile, I do think is pretty good. Yes, these are all the little stones from Gaga. In all fairness, I'm always a bit embarrassing with that, but Gaga sent me them when he was working on these surfaces very early, and I have an unbuilt version of the old one, so I keep forgetting which is the old and the new ones because I use everything locally. But these are for sure new versions of Gaga's rocks, and they're amazing, especially for something like this. But I am not so used to them yet. Like the old Gaga surfaces I all know pretty well. The new Gaga surfaces, meanwhile, I've not used much. So I'm a lot more lost with these. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with what Jay is saying. I'm not the one making the luxury surfaces though. It's some cutie in chat right now that needs to hear that instead. But okay, having a look at this, I think we definitely want to work with these very invisible ones. Both this one, which we can just leave right away, and then probably combine it with this one. Or this one, probably even both of them. Some of these very light ones. And then, actually, I think this is the best shading-wise. And then over this, we should go with the other ones. So we can leave that one as foundation and then go out of this. I mean, I'm used to it by now. I guess I've done this myself through being an absolute degenerate, but it does feel like this is the least serious community in the entirety of Cities Skylines. It's this surface. Okay, this is where we make the bigger accents with. This we use as a base. And then we go over there with the even bigger ones. But I want to have these to get some shading into the deeper terrained areas here. It's gonna be a lot of clicking Gaga surfaces if we work this area out here properly. The best thing about Gaga surfaces, I can only ever say that, is how you can click them down very untidily and they still perfectly do their job. They don't do so much here, but especially if you look from further away, they do add that level of shading and depth to the build for this to really make a difference. I mean, actually, I did see that.
My
and
God! Okay, it's happening.
That was hilarious. Actually, I did see
What's the
how
procedure?
Shane was building that. And welcome in, Vanilla Cream. You were playing Cities today as well. I hope. I guess I would think so at least. For once, I'm gonna be Borderlands curious. Often you do play City, so I assumed. But yeah, I guess if you were into Borderlands or sometimes as well Cities, then go check out Vanilla Cream. And thank you so much for the raid. We are just spanning or doing the same thing we've been doing for a long time and working out this glorious gigantic state mine to fund our empire with. So yeah, really just slowly and very detailed going through this build. Most is not finished. Some areas like these are pretty much finished and we're getting where we want to be. But yeah, we're taking a moment. I am probably the slowest builder in the Cities Skylines community, but then you do end up, I'm not sure if you ever seen my city in more detail, but I can give you a very quick flyover. You basically land in some shitty hellscape like this. Not everything is a hellscape. We have nice areas like this area, which is my palace, because I as a governor clearly demand a proper residence. But yeah, generally it's a bit more run down, a bit more down to earth, and very rednecky, really. I can only always refer to this. This is the first area of our build and how we want the vibes in here. And now, months after we started the build, we finally get to build a proper mine, because DarkQ made a mod. The only reason we tackle this now is that we've gotten these resource blocks a while ago. Oops. These here that allow us to produce things from specialized industry without getting all the specialized industry and just getting a normal block like this. So that gives us the freedom to now actually build a cool mine and not an ugly mine. And this already is a mine part that is pretty much done. And now we're diving into the quarry part that is on this side. And then afterwards, we're gonna dive into this abandoned gold mine shitty area, which I really want this to not be inviting and a dying town. So let's see where we get there eventually. But progress is very slow, and I was gonna say steady, but I would not even say steady. Progress is just very slow. Eventually we will get there, but it takes us a moment. And how was your stream today? What Borderlands have you been playing? And holy shit, thanks so much, Clovis. Not only the biggest bit donations we also got, but literally showering us in gifted subs today. 54, you are crazy. I am super curious. I used to love Borderlands 3. I have to admit, it's the only Borderlands I ever played is Borderlands 3. But I love that as a co-op game and had a lot of good times with sitting on a sofa with friends and blasting it. But I've not tried any Borderlands outside of Borderlands 3. Really? Okay. Actually, you piqued my curiosity. I will check out Borderlands 4. And yeah, enjoy your lurk. I'm sorry, I'm a shit streamer. I don't have a lurk command, but you're always welcome to go lurk and enjoy yourself of suffering through my boring building. And let me catch up in chat real quick. I do want crime to be happening, but then to be honest, I do want to somewhat normally balance the city. So I don't care about crime being high. What I mainly care about, and that is something we managed quite well, is to get police patrols everywhere. Because I want this to not be a criminal state, but more some kind of police state, I guess. So I want there to be cops everywhere, and a lot of them, again, is actually like just us placing cops like this. But then we do also have quite a bit of distribution of actual police force that patrols everywhere. Wow, that wouldn't be funny at all. We love Clovis here. Clovis has to be subbed to our channel. I would feel horrible and miss Clovis and stop streaming if he's not in here. I'm very sure that Clovis has been in the top or first 5 people of following this channel, and 2 of those don't really count because it was real life friends from the past. And yes, it's not an accident. This looks like a GTA map, right? Like, I always tell people one thing, and it's something where many people disagree, and I do think it changes a bit now we have that huge 57-kilometer map mod or 47-kilometer map mod. Because with that, you can build cities in somewhat realistic scale. I think it's boring to build a city in realistic scale. I think you should cut out everything that's not super interesting. Exactly how GTA does it, right? If something is not super cool or interesting to get shown, they just don't show it and then condense everything really strictly. And that is pretty much what I'm trying to do here as well. And Rockstar is a big inspiration for my build, and I love GTA lore and GTA in general, so I take that as a big compliment. In fact, we literally have, thanks to Habermeister J, who's in chat today, we literally have this, which pretty much is a one-on-one replica of Trevor's trailer in Sandy Shores. Yes, the terrain, the layout, the entire build is not like Sandy Shores, but this is literally Sandy Shores to me, because Sandy Shores to me consists of the big gas station in front of Trevor's trailer, the shitty rundown hotel next to it. Obviously, our hotel is very different than that one. And Trevor's trailer, that's Sandy Shores in essence for me. And I just condensed the entirety of Sandy Shores into a single block here, pretty much. So, yeah, GTA is one of the biggest inspiration on this channel. And welcome in, Mr. Civilized Weird. I mean, I guess most people can relate. I'm not the only person suffer of a booty addiction, I guess. Though people should not make fun of it. It's a serious illness, like any addiction, and should not be joked around with. Look at these rocks from Gaga. Because Riza, you asked. Yes, they are Gaga's rocks. And look at how these few surfaces change this entire hillside. It's insane. And it's just the very first few layers we're throwing down here. And why do you think Borderlands 4 is the best game ever? What does it make so much better than Borderlands 3? Wait, Jay, some people like detailing, not everybody just likes reassembling the same meshes they've seen 100 times already in the editor. Some people, I know, shocking to you, but actually do enjoy playing Cities Skylines. And indeed, this dirt is still dirt, but now it looks a lot cooler, so you're not wrong. I very much appreciate it. All of that does sound very good, because I agree. I mean, I found Borderlands 3 story not terribly hurtful, but yes, not something that really reels you in. But I always enjoyed the looting and stealing. Mainly what I enjoyed is stealing whoever I played with munition. Or steal their good guns and then tell them how amazing my gun is when I took it from them. Surely everything you should do as a good teammate is exactly what I did. Well, I wish I could compete with somebody like Rockstar, because as much as I like our build, guys, just if you wanna see a cool build city, just go play GTA 5. No need to, no need to watch my stream for that. Is this the right one? I think this is the right one. We want a very light one. Yeah, this is. I think this is the very lightest one. Again, I really don't want to do much, and I say that, and we've drawn like 500 surfaces in a small area. But I don't want to do too much here. I just want to add some shading to all of this. Who is your club? I have not looked at anything in Bundesliga today, so I know that you said you're a Hamburg fan, so if that's true, then I will be very sad and upset. I would love that. You literally, there is not one level, James. There is only one right answer to which level to recreate, and it's the very first skate hall in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, where you can grind over the helicopter. If that is not the immediate obvious choice, then I don't know what is. Did we actually, Urban, did we actually lose 5-0 today? Like, I've been busy all day and then came home and pretty much went to streaming right away, so I've not caught up with soccer today, but please no. If there is one thing that Urban and me share, it's combined pain of being fan of the best, but also simultaneously most painful soccer club in history of human mankind. Yes, I mean exactly that. We just need somebody to make that mod we had in CS1, or that I heard about in CS1, where you can drive things by yourself and actually go through the city of people and move around. Because that's exactly what we need, and we'd be perfectly happy. And welcome in Cosmic, how's it going, cutie? The high school level is also really cool. Or the one in CS1, you mean? Again, I played CS1 when the game came out really freshly for 30 hours. I hated building roads in that game so much that I rage quit and uninstalled after 30 hours, so most things I know about CS1 I know from my chat, but not from own experience. Yeah, in fact, everybody, I posted it in my Discord, because Cosmic comes from an incredibly inspiring place in Mexico, because it's pretty much, it looks straight out of the US, but then it is in Mexico and has heavily, like, obvious Mexican elements in the city as well. I posted it on my Discord as a Google Maps link, and it is an amazing city to explore in. And that's actually so cool that this is your German club, because that's literally my German club. It's like I've been since I'm a teenager. I guess you don't really get a choice with soccer clubs. It's where your dad or brother or whoever pulls you in first, and then in case of Hamburg, sadly that means you have to suffer for the rest of your life, I guess. But yeah, I'm a big fan, and I guess the times where we had Thunderfort were also the only times in the last 30 years where we were not absolute dog shit, so makes sense that that's the time you remember. And honestly, I think in this pit we don't even need to do much. The only thing I'm not sure about is if we also want to get dams to load in right here. I don't think so. I don't want to fill this up too much. So I think this we can leave pretty much as blank as it is. But we should revisit this area up here that's pretty much undetailed yet, and also make this a lot less blunt and boring. Yeah, hold on. Like, you should immediately cancel being friends with that person. I have the same problem. Half of my family probably is St. Pauli fans, and the other half of my family is Hamburg fans. In the past, that was always an easy fight to win, because then really St. Pauli is not a proper soccer club, it's more a fashion brand kind of thing. That used to be the thing you could say in the past, because in the past, Hamburg actually knew how to play soccer. But then in the last 15 years, we've been so horribly bad and embarrassing that that's sadly not something you can say anymore. And nowadays I get made fun of after every single derby, because sadly we always lose every single time. Like we did this league already. Or this season, I should say. Yeah, if he's a Pauli fan, I'm sorry to inform you, he cannot be your best friend anymore. For now is all I'm gonna say, because looking at how well we're doing, I'm not sure if that's gonna be a stint for a longer time. But yes, for now I'm also very happy about that. The one thing I guess I have to reevaluate a bit on is the lack of fences, because generally I think it's fine we're using so little fences, but I guess especially if it goes down like it goes here, maybe we should at least add a few concrete barriers to not really care about our citizens, but at least pretend that we care about our citizens. I don't want to properly fence this, like I want some very uncaring, shitty place concrete barriers that still totally allow you to fall off the cliff and hurt yourself. But then as a major, I can say why you fall off there. Like I clearly put concrete barriers, like this is not for me to take any blame for. That's the entire reason why we want to put concrete barriers here. So we want something like this, not, again, not a proper fence. And maybe we want to use a different line tool, but for curving, generally I like this if the angle works, and it doesn't. Honestly, this already feels too caring for Los Vagos. Like, why are we taking such good care of the safety of our citizens? Yeah, I mean, most of the people in here, at least right now, also stream cities, so if any of you is looking for more interesting and fun city content than myself, just follow anybody in chat right now and watch their streams instead. It's so frustrating because we have decals everywhere here, so we can never just touch anything we place to recolor it. So I'm gonna place a single one somewhere back here. And now we're gonna color this the way we want, and then we can bring the color over there. Something like this, a bit washed out beige. Well, yes, Jay, but then that's why we have police everywhere. If you steal the dirt, you will have an accident. So, sure, feel free to try. I don't think it's a good idea. And clearly, I'm not the one telling you that. I don't care. You steal whatever you want. I'm just saying you might or might not have an accident if you steal the dirt. In fact, instead of putting fences, we will just put more police everywhere to make people feel safer in our place. You can't. I use the... That's one of the reasons why I don't like the tool. I use a vanilla line tool, not advanced line tool. And in the vanilla line tool, you can't turn off the color variations. But the vanilla line tool curves a little nicer than advanced line tool. So sometimes I still use vanilla line tool for stuff like this and then just recolor manual. Yeah, see, I don't even need to answer haters like Jay anymore. I have Baloo, our propaganda minister, to take care of this situation. Okay, heck it. We are gonna be more clever this time and in fact use this line tool. And we did use this line tool then. Yeah, I actually just forgot it. I am silly. But even in random variation, I don't want to use any of the predefined color variations. So I will have to recolor anyways. And also move a little, because the angle is not what we want. Again, many of these things are skill issues, and probably you could do this more clever. But then I'm not known to be clever. This is good enough, really. It's like, now we can say we're innocent. If somebody falls off of here, we've done all of our job. If people still fall, then what can we do about it? It's also, in general, I don't see myself just as teaching you guys to be better at Cities Skylines. I think a big part is also that I, in general, give great life advice. Because what I just said is also very solid parenting advice, right? If you tell your kid not to fall down somewhere and they still fall, really, as a parent, you did everything you had to. You told them where the limits are. If they don't listen, that's up on them, so no need to feel bad about it. Please, if you ever become a parent, don't watch my streams anymore and don't listen to me. I guess it's why Michael is not in here so much anymore, and I can't blame him for it. Really, I think this is super safe. If somebody still falls, we are really absolutely innocent. The only thing we need is some more overgrowth, so it's harder for people to see the barriers. So it gets more likely for people to fall. Now we're innocent, we don't really care anymore. In here, our plant work is also not very appropriate. We do need a bit more layer of this. Did some very bare bone plant work in this area to get it into shape a bit. Then I have not had figured the layout 100%, so now this is a bit more finalized to revisit, especially close to where we're building. And is there anybody who's really good with trains in my chat right now? Because I have a mod question about trains, where I again just display how unknowledgeable about the game I am. But is there a mod that can make sure that in the lines of our trains and buses, goes for both of them, but we get some proper distance in there? Because this is actually not that bad, but very often when I look mainly at my buses, they're all just driving back to each other. Is there any mod that can force them to split out a bit more evenly without following behind each other? I'm not that big into public transport yet in this game, so I have not checked for any of it. I'm sure other people know. I mean, Urban, the truth is, whenever I see you play Transport Fever, I both think, oh my god, that looks like a good game, but then I see how much frames you have and how the game is fighting and how the graphics of it look. And then I'm very happy that I'm a Cities Skylines player, not a Transport Fever player. For CS2. Because if so, what is the name of that mod? I need to get that mod. Because that's exactly what I want. I want a mod that automatically spaces them out a bit better. Oh, well, you saying it's causing you issues is not what I wanted to hear. I don't need the mod to do anything else. I don't need any like rebalancing. I don't need any budget adjustments or anything. I really just care about the spacing. But thank you so much for checking, Hippie. That's nice of you. Yeah, I know. I seen that we're gonna get a flag category, which I mean does make sense if we're gonna get somebody. I know that there is somebody who's working on making pretty much every flag in the world. Then yeah, that does kind of warrant its own category. What an absolute banger track. Also, I'm curious, how's the volume of the music? Because in the last stream, somebody said it's a bit too loud. So I lowered it, but now we're listening to a different playlist. So maybe here it's a tad too silent now. If so, gladly tell me and I'll bounce it up a tad. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that in big cities, those things struggle, but then my city is very small. My bus network is fine, even though it's super unoptimized. The only issue I have is the spacing. Because then if they line up behind each other once, then obviously everybody's always waiting for the first bus. The first bus always takes forever to board. And the other ones never have anybody to pick up, so they just keep driving through. Which is, I guess, semi-realistic. The same happens in real life, but then in real life, the second bus eventually just overtakes the second one. And in-game, they don't, so they always just keep clogged up behind each other. Alright, then very nice. If the volume is good, I'm happy. But I can never really check that because I removed the music for my VOD, so if I click in my own VOD, I cannot really recheck the volume. Okay, then maybe I will check out that mod, though you saying me that, or telling me that you had issues with it already makes me a bit more hesitant, but I'm gonna have a look at it at least. Thank you so much for checking. That is very kind of you. I hope I remember the name, or if you don't mind, that would be super cute if you want to. No need for it otherwise, but if you join my Discord and just post the name of it in general chat so I can find it after stream. But yeah, I'm gonna have a look at that, because eventually, especially after we're done with this giant mine build, we will have to dive more into optimizing our public transport a bit more. And then that's gonna immediately be one of the things we run into with a problem that we have to tackle somehow. Honestly, Balu, you need to. I need you to start collecting these, because I'm not kidding. I will make you your propaganda channel in my Discord today after a stream, and some of these are just beautiful. That one, for example, is literally something I need to just spam every time somebody complains about my public transport, because I love that reasoning. Beautiful. Hold on. Why did I not get that correctly? Now we did get it correctly. And color that. Perfect. Sorry, the coloring here is so annoying again, because we have very high ground decal, so I cannot touch any of these elements. So we will have to color it somewhere else and then move across with recolor to color it here, which is annoying and painful, but also nothing we can really change. Besides being more intelligent and planning to use decals in a later part of the build, which I tell myself every time we're gonna learn and do it different the next time, but then the next time I do exactly the same, so I'm not too confident in this getting better. I know that one of those transport managers scared me a bit because it had a dependency of a mod that wants to run in the second screen. And I don't want to dedicate my second screen to cities as well. I want to use that for either streaming or watching YouTube or something. But I'm gonna recheck all of that again. Thanks for checking already again. Okay, yeah, again, back then when I looked at it, I was in my very first city, like maybe 10 months ago, when I pretty much just started playing cities. So I did not know very much about the game back then. Oh, actually, that's curious. See, that's why it's great to have clever people like you in my chat, because you generally know better than I do. You played a lot of CS1 as well, Riza. I assume so, from what you've been saying today, but just to make sure. Is this too tight? Yes, I know that's what she said. Elgando probably not here, otherwise he would already have redeemed that. I kinda wanna squeeze this in here. And we can squeeze it in here, nice. Or can we trick this here? Can we just... I said something that would have been a perfect, that's what she said, assist. And usually whenever I say something sus that would warrant, that's what she said, you immediately play the sound and you didn't. So I assume maybe you're AFK. I meant Riza, but also that is still very interesting to hear, because it feels like everybody in the CS2 community has been a long time CS1 player already, and I feel like I'm one of the very few people who just started playing CS2 with CS2.
Some Latinos up here.
Okay. Elgando obviously is here. How could I ever doubt that?
Place an electricity box.
I love it. Yes, we have not placed many electricity boxes. Why did the clipping have to adjust right in the moment where I click it down? This goddamn game. Okay, there we go. Holy shit. I mean, I probably am not gonna be much different with CS2 hour-wise, so I'm the last person to judge, but impressive. No, not try it. Like electricity boxes, I'm not even... I don't care, Baloo. Even if you just wanted to try it, I have that command in there. Because I love the electricity box. I think it's one of the coolest things in this game. But I always forget about it, so I don't place them. But then I have the redeem, so people like you can redeem it, and I actually use them. Because it's such a good detail, guys. Use the electricity boxes. Look at how much that changes. It's 2 clicks. We spent hours to add small details that barely are noticeable. And then this takes 5 seconds and it adds so much. Everybody should be using those electricity boxes in their builds. They are amazing. Okay, yeah, thanks so much for the info. I'm gonna check it out, and if I don't have to use a second screen for it, that's really nice. Yeah, so curious how long many people have played the game without really diving into the detailing. Because for me, I watch detailers on YouTube. That's why I've gotten the game. So I immediately, when I downloaded the game, knew that I want to detail. Like, I've never opened this game without mods. I pretty much immediately downloaded Skype and started installing mods. Also, I'm curious. I need to ask people from not Germany that are in chat a question where my girlfriend always makes fun of me and everybody else who's not German does. There is a very popular drink in Germany that Germans are very proud of that mean people would say sounds like it's invented by a child born on a birthday trying to make a cool drink, and it's just combining Fanta and cola, and we call it Spezi, and it's very popular and a big drink in here, and I've never seen that anywhere else in the world. Is that a thing for anybody where they're from? drinking cola and Fanta combined and having a name for that. Yeah, see, I did not, when I built this computer, and even when CS2 came out, I did not know about CS2, even though I played CS1 a little. I completely missed everything about this game and started playing pretty much exactly a year ago by now. So I'm still learning a lot of the ropes. Yeah, see? I guess so, but then still, it's so curious. Everybody in chat is reacting very shocked to it. In Germany, that's an absolute staple drink. Like everybody knows that. Yeah, in every single, there is not a single restaurant or supermarket where you can't go in and literally order a Spezi, which is a mix of Fanta Orange, I guess, like Jay is saying, and Coke. But that's in every supermarket. You find like 20 different variations from that, and in every restaurant that is on the menu, and it's very normal here. But then I guess to everybody else in the world, it sounds like a kid who just mixed two drinks together. Well, I guess Fanta is different everywhere. I know, I heard about that monstrosity before, Jay, and I tried it because I couldn't believe that that is somehow drinkable, and then I was totally right, that absolutely is not drinkable and is horrible. I don't know why they decided that's a good thing to combine with each other. I mean, yeah, we have that a lot here as well, with like Coke Cherry and Coke Vanilla and all of that, but then like just mixing the drinks together, I guess, is pretty uncommon. What even is Fernut? I don't even know what that is. Maybe because it's a word I don't know in English, or maybe because I actually have never heard of that. Okay, you guys totally helped me with explaining one thing I don't know with a different thing I don't know. I still have no clue what that is. I mean, I'm dating a Colombian woman, and I guess this goes for every country in South America. They also love frying everything, and the truth is also, it does make sense, because everything tastes better fried. So I get why, but it can be a bit over the top. Oops. No, I did not want to do it. We just sit here. Can we save this somehow? I wanted to slope it instead of flattening that. I guess we can kind of save it. We need to move the plants a bit, sadly. Not many of them, but these up here for sure. I mean, Mate is also something very funny in Germany, because I don't think that's a thing anywhere outside in the world. In Germany, Mate is incredibly popular, but not as a traditional tea. Here, it's a very popular soft drink that is, again, something you can buy in every supermarket or kiosk, and is an absolute staple in society, people drinking Mate. But not as an actual tea, but as a cold soft drink, kinda like an energy drink, pretty much. Which I guess is uncommon in the rest of the world, but I love it. I am a big fan of Mate. I don't like energy drinks so much, but then Mate itself I do find very, very nice. What an absolute terrible day to have ice, Jay. I don't even know what to say about what I just read, but all I can say is what an absolute terrible day to have eyes and be able to read. I mean, sounds interesting, but crazy. Really? It gives you so much pain. That's curious, because I both like the tea form of it as well as the energy drink version, but I'm still not over what Jay just messaged in chat. I'm caught off guard for a moment. I mean, honestly, Campari and orange juice, I don't even need to try it. I can tell you by just reading that sounds very tasty and I would like that. Well, at least somebody is suffering with me and also they're reading Jay's message. Can we get away with these or do these look a bit too shitty morphed together? This has such heavy terrain that we can't really detail much in there, so the easiest solution would be just to fill it up with sand. Now see, that meanwhile I would be curious on, I want to see that label. I need crucial impact from people who know better than me. Can we keep these sand piles the way they are, or do they look too morphed together? I'm gonna try to blend these nicely with each other. Then maybe we can get away with this. These sand piles actually do make a bit of a problem for us. Because I would love to detail up most of the sand piles a bit similar to what we did here and actually combine them with some rocks and plants and make them a bit overgrown, at least if it's some that don't look like they get used all the time. One of the issues I have is I find it impossible to color match a rock to this sand pile. If anybody is bored and feels like they're a master at matching colors, gladly try if you can manage to take a normal boulder like this and somehow get it to color match very well. And if you are successful with that, please send me the hex codes, because I've been trying and I can't nail it. They always get too little peachy. It's really difficult. I tried quite a bit and I, again, have not been super successful with this. Kinda. It kinda works, but not really. I mean, I'm sure we can, if we spend long enough doing this, I'm sure we can manage somehow, but I really struggle. With all other sand piles, it's not that much of a problem. With this sand pile, it's really hard, because it's so bright and light that the way the rocks work with their colors, it's really difficult to get proper look on top of it. Oh god. I forgot that we have parking spots here. It's fine, we just have two. We can just move them like this and can leave our detailing. Actually, this is nice because then we don't really have any detailing to do there, but just in front here. And here I want to leave open space for people to drive through, so we really just have space right there. I have never heard about that, to be honest. That does sound very tasty, so I'm sad I've never heard about it before, because that sounds like something I would like to drink. But yeah, never heard before. See, now we place that one afterwards, and now it looks weird because we've overgrown plants everywhere, but here. Yeah, mate, enjoy your sleep, and thanks so much for tuning in. And don't suffer too hard being a Hamburg fan. I know it hurts. I'm suffering of the same misery, but don't let it make you too sad. And have a good night, mate. Oh, actually, I love it. These higher cars we can actually recolor, even though we have decals everywhere, because they're so high that they go higher than the decal. Most we can't. I have another question about CS1 that makes me incredibly curious, because it's one of the things that tilts me about CS1. Has there ever been any proper way in CS1 how to open a garage? It's so sad that we don't have some of these opened. I would love to have like 2 of them close, 1 open, and be able to actually detail a car driving in and out and everything, but I guess that's not something we can do in CS2, and I would assume also was not possible in CS1, but that would be so big. We kinda have a gas station already, but yeah, it's not really dedicated to the heavy buildings of or heavy vehicles of the mine. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what we have in a moment, Balloon. What we have is this, which I do see as a bit of a maintenance, because it's right close to all of our industry here still. And we have this. This is supposed to be the maintenance yard for the vehicles we have here, right? We even have a bit of a mechanic scenery going on in the backside where the vehicles are getting fixed up. And then I consider this to be the very small and rural shitty gas station, but you do have a point that maybe somewhere. The question is where, because this already is getting very dense, and I do want to keep this in somewhat rural vibes and not go entirely over the top. But generally I agree with you that something like that would be nice. Difficult actually. Let's have a real quick look in the static ploppables commercial. Here is the gas stations right away. Because many of these don't need that much space, and that actually is a really cool build to make. And in that case, we would want one without the houses, because you don't really need to pay if it's tanking for work. Actually, I like it, but Lou, as always, 10 out of 10 ideas. And the question is only between those 4 here, all of the other 7 buildings. I think this one might be the best. Maybe even this one. This one is so nice and rural, but still has 2 of them. This one has only a single one. I think that's a tad too little. Hey, I do think, oops, this one is the best. And it's so small that wholeheartedly we could literally fill that next to here, because here we would have detailed out the area normal anyways. So maybe we can build exactly what you want back here for fueling all of these vehicles that are back up further here on the hill. So yes, very nice idea. We're gonna do that. We will have to break our decal work here a little probably, because we will have to terraform a bit more area open for it here. So let's take the road level and bring this out. And here we're gonna have to smoothen it somehow. Bring all of it further out. Is that gonna be enough space already? Maybe. Yeah? But let's throw it down. We can always adjust it. See, I always forget about this. The one thing that makes this roof a bit bad is that they get this natural shine, this very bright white, and we can't do anything about that. So I don't like it. Wow, how's your moving going, Jay? By the way, I was wondering, but it's been a while. And have an absolute wonderful good night, Tippy. Nice to see you here, and good night. And thanks for checking for me with a mod earlier. That's very nice of you. And welcome in Hjorten, or I never know how to pronounce your name. Eventually I will need you to pronounce your name for me in one of your streams. So I feel less bad about butchering it as bad. I'm pronouncing that correct, okay, actually, then I'm happy. I always feel a bit self-conscious about it, because I don't want to name people a way they don't appreciate it or something. So it feels like with some names it's a bit daunting sometimes. I am very jealous. I still don't have fiber internet. It's sadly one of the things that I won't be able to get here till my landlord changes something. Do these all have the shine? This also has it. That's horrible. They all have that? Well, okay. I was gonna say we need to find a different one without the shine, but literally all of them are shining like this, so that's not a thing. So we are just gonna live with the shine, I guess. Wait. Okay, I'm waiting. Baloo gonna teach me everything about the game that I'm doing wrong. I know that maybe Jay also made these a long time ago. Does yours also have the shine? Yes. But this one looks even... this one is even prettier, it's even more retro. Actually, yeah, you have some meshes that we can't get freestanding otherwise. And whatever you typed got uncensored, so I guess what you tried didn't work out. But honestly, this one is a lot better. It still has the same shine, but a lot less obvious from the outside. So I think this might what we're going for instead. And I assume, Jay, your flat is all ready and everything. You could move already, but you're just not fully moving yet because the new place has no internet. At least been there, done that in the past myself. I just went to one of my neighbors and told them I would trade 2 pallets of beer, or not pallets, but boxes of beer, for them giving me their Wi-Fi password till my internet is there, and they very much were happy to accept that deal. And then I could move, but I did have the same issue in the past. So Baloo, you wanted us to build some area to tank with the cars? I'm perfectly done. This is ready. Like, this is exactly what you imagined, right? I think I did great detailing here, and now we added a lot of possibility for people to tank everywhere. Haha, I'm a comedian. I know, thank you. Oops, I deleted the decal. What did I delete here? What did I just delete? I deleted something here I didn't want to delete, and I don't know what. Well, if I can't tell what it was, it can't be the biggest loss, I guess. Yeah, no, I think the very retro looking one is the best that we had as option. So this one. Yeah, this looks nice. It's very small and condensed, and the white shine is not as obvious. Oh, actually, I think I know which one you mean, and that is a great fit. In fact, I was looking at those as well, but I didn't find some space for it. You mean those in the snow? Is it? Yeah, you mean these, right? There is a few of them here that work somewhat nicely. Yes, they actually would be an even better fit, but they need so much space that I'm not sure where we could fit them. Maybe with the right amount of terraforming we could fit them up here. Which one do you mean then? Or did you find it in the game or in Google Maps, just so we don't misunderstand each other? Maybe one of these smaller ones is not horrible. Do we find this more realistic to refuel the vehicles than an actual gas station? I guess Baloo is onto something as always. Curious. Now you make me rethink. I thought this is fine, but then actually looking at it visually, these are a bit cleaner because they're also technically for refueling, right? Like you see how it's has fuel there in the side. But yeah, this one actually is pretty good. I think. Sad, I would prefer the one with only 2 tanks, but then we lose that building to actually fuel up. But yeah, I think this looks more fitting than a gas station. All of these are beautiful, but then again, we only have space here where there is a lot of terrain. And we don't really have any space in the flat areas down here to do this anymore. And with the terrain, this will really struggle. Maybe actually we can just try to use half of it. But yeah, no, it must be in this side. Wait, I'm gonna look at these really quick and then we're gonna search for the prop that Jay is talking about, to have a look at that one. These I also love. I use these a lot, but then again, they are so big and we don't really have the space for it. The only one realistically, I guess we could properly fit is this one, which I quite like. I'm gonna put that down here already. Yes, generally they totally do that especially in more civilized areas, or not civilized, but more dense areas. But then in industry, no, they don't always do that, because that's a big cost factor, I guess, and people don't want to spend money on something they don't need. So yes, for a commercial gas station, totally, they would dig that underground. But then we don't really want a commercial gas station here. We just want to refuel our industrial trucks. Let's have a look if maybe J is right. Fueling station. Nope, maybe just fueling. Did I mistype it? I didn't. Maybe just station. I guess then we're gonna get all the gas stations. Do you know what category it could be from? Like what kind of asset is it we're looking for? These are also not bad, but this is more generators. I wanted to use them at first, but then I find them a bit too modern for the kind of mine we're building here. Yeah, this is all just the gas stations. Gas station, this is the decals for it. And not sure if you find out the name of it, Jay, then I gladly look for it, but otherwise I'm a bit lost on it. And in all fairness, I also quite like this asset. It's not perfect, it's not exactly what we would need, but then it's surely passable enough for what we want to do here. So I wouldn't mind just using this one either. In fact, this one works quite well in this area. Is a bit tight here, but we can make that fit. And hey, welcome, Graham. Nice to see you here. Yeah, maybe we can compare to whatever asset Jay made, or Jay not made, but meant. So if you find it, Jay, gladly let me know the name and I'm gonna have a look at it. Otherwise, we're gonna go with what we have here. And how's it going today, Graham? I mean, actually it does fit quite well and give that area a bit more justification as well. I'm good. We're just working on the same thing since a long time, but it's also a giant area, so it makes sense how long we work at it. We're making slow progress in our mine and quarry area, where this entire part of it is done. And now we're fighting our way through and kinda working on this part. And then, once we have that part done, we're finally gonna dive into the most exciting part in my eyes of the build, which is our abandoned mine later on. But yeah, very slow and steady progress with this. Which initially I kept being a bit annoyed with myself about how slow the progress is, but then I realized how big the area is, and since I realized how big the area is we're working on, I don't feel I don't feel very bad about how slow we are anymore. It feels a bit too cramped still. I would like to get more distance in between those two structures, which also means we have to terraform further here to give space. But I don't mind. I just think otherwise this gets a bit too crowded. So I prefer bringing it further back here instead, and then just making that entire area bigger than we initially had it. Here it does not matter too much. What I want to keep definitely is this canyon going here. But the area closer to the road is not really a problem to just terraform. Something like this, maybe. Because then if we're imagining this, just so this gets a bit more correctly, god damn it, there's decals everywhere. I cannot use picker on anything in this area anymore. Yeah, guys, don't be like me. Make your build first, then place your decals if you don't want to be in physical pain. But I'm just not learning. I guess they would just need to back up here. No, it's not like they just plug that into their vehicle right away. They would just fuel it up with a hose, I guess. So this is enough space for what we need here. Definitely have to fix up the terrain a bit though. I don't like how rapidly this falls, and then we're breaking part of the nature detailing we did already, but we can just redo it. Again, it looks a bit plain and empty now, but it's mainly because we just killed half of the nature detailing we did there already. So just have to bring that back. One of the things Elgando really helped me with, and it's not appropriate to do that here, but I always felt like I'm very bad at terraforming compared to many people. And I still think that totally is the case. But one thing Elgando taught me to do more is change your brush while terraforming, especially if you want realistic terrain and changes. These are really powerful. Like, I could have never gotten this terraforming here anywhere similarly as rough as it is now if we would have not used the mountain brushes for it instead. And I did not know that you can just swap these out, so very appreciated that Elgando taught me that. Okay, and we're gonna blend in here. Is a bit annoying because this decal has one very dark spot that we don't appreciate. So we always have to start far away, and then slowly work our way back, so we can always overdraw the ugly dark part. I don't mind the ugly dark part if it's inside of the dirty road. If any of you guys are wondering why these dirty roads and this decal match so well, the reason is that I told Elgando I want dirty roads that exactly match the color of this decal, because I love that color. And he made us dirty roads, perfectly matching it. And now it's so nice to work with these dirty roads, because we can blend them so easily. Because we can literally just color match it to the decal that we were using. Why are you Z-fighting? Generally, this decal has very little issues with Z-fighting, but yeah, here we do have a Z-fighting conflict. So we will have to delete that area. This one as well, probably, and then let's see if we can redo this without getting ugly Z-fighting this time. So far we're fine. Now let's see if we can hide that darkness here a little bit and not get sea fighting. We are fine this time. Nice. That is perfectly good enough for me. And then let's frame this real quick, what we just broke. And Gray, I know that whenever you play Baldur games, I don't really tune in, because I still want to play Baldur game myself in future, and I don't want to get spoiled. But how are you enjoying the game? Apparently, at least when it was new, everybody said it's the single best co-op game ever to face the planet Earth. So curious if you're having such a good time as well. And of course you are. Yeah, I could have figured, because really everybody loved that game when it came out. Are you still playing it, or are you two cuties getting close to being done with it? Yeah, I'm sure I will eventually. For me, it's generally more that I already have too little time for the games that I like. So I'm generally pretty hesitant starting new games unless I know I have a calm period of time where I can really dive into something without feeling bad about it. Or really, if I fully enjoy a game, like I do with Cities pretty much, then I tend to not get bored of that game very easily and spend a lot of time in a single game. How many acts does a game have in total? I mean, I think especially in a game like that, you should absolutely take your time. Seems way more fun playing it fairly slowly. And actually, cool, because that means I guess you're also entirely spoiler-free diving into it, which not that easy to manage with a game like Baldur's Gate, I guess. But yeah, I think it's the most fun if you just dive in without knowing anything, so that's lovely. Is Jelly also fully unaware? Because then even cooler if actually both of you are just diving into it freshly. That's very nice. That looks alright angle-wise. Oh, okay, so for her it's the second place. For you it's the first. Okay, okay. I figured both of you tried the very first time. How come she stopped then, if she likes the game? Yeah, I mean, fair enough. With a game like that, if I'm actually fully enjoying it, and I also do really want to finish and get through with it. Again, it's actually, I'm a bit conflicted, because it's actually a game which I'm interested in, so on the one hand, I would actually love to tune in one of the streams. But then, since I enjoy games mostly being spoiler-free when I dive into it, and I still want to play it myself, I feel like I shouldn't be watching. But I have been tempted to stay in there and spoiler myself a little, but then I managed to behave. Right. So the one prop I would still love to know of is a prop that Jay talked about or told us about earlier, the single gas pump. Because a single gas pump back here, somewhere here in the side for the refueling would be absolutely perfect, but I don't know where we find that. And hey, Poplar, nice to see you here. How is your evening going? Oh, hello, Mr. Dogan. More and more people. I guess all of the US Americans are not waking up, but are being done with their day and finally have time to relax and hit up Twitch. But yeah, I hope both of you are having a nice evening. See here in the terrain, we need to lower them a little at least. That already seems good enough again, and then we do the same here. It's not even so people don't fall, it's just so the trucks don't accidentally ride off the back here. Oh well, I mean, that's a good moment to tune in then. And also, I'm sure sometimes you're jealous. I'm a big fan of napping, but usually don't have the time for it. But I wouldn't mind having a nap either. Damn it, do we still have the... Yes, we still have it. Nice, we still have this here to recolor our other barriers as well. Nice, good enough. Now actually I guess we're this far. We should just pull through and work out this area 100%. So we're gonna add a very small layer of details here. See, for me, I'm very split about naps. I sometimes feel like you. For me, naps are either heaven or hell. Sometimes I wake up from a nap and I'm the most refreshed person in human earth, and I have energy and power for it afterwards. But yeah, sometimes I'm like you and I feel like, oh my god, I'm so energyless later. But I don't know, I grew up with a father who literally every single day of my life, my dad he's not a functioning human being if he's not taking a nap. And my dad has been teacher all his life, so after he came home from school, before he kept working and preparing lessons for tomorrow, every day he came home, he took a nap right away. And I've always been jealous, because my dad can lay down in bed and it takes like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and that man is completely passed out and snoozing, and he can wake up 20 minutes later and is a refreshed and different person, which I don't know how people do that, but I would love to be able to do that. None of these are extra construction props. Yes, I'm also using a lot of local assets, so maybe you see some of the assets we're using right now that are not vanilla. But every single of the assets you're currently seeing in our screen is just vanilla assets. What we're using here, this mod here is just find it to look at them, but all of them are just vanilla. And you could assess all of them as well, not through find it, but through the menu here. It's just that in find it, a bit more props are actually categorized as industrial assets, so I prefer this view, but both perfectly work. And if you see a specific prop that you're unsure about, because yes, it might also be that it's custom assets, because we use lots of custom assets from Jay and other people, but not here currently. And if I'm allowed to ask, Poplar, because now you pique my interest, how old are your little ones? Because you said one of your kids, so I at least know is multiple, but I don't know how many multiple and how old they are. Alright, good enough. And now here in the very left side, we're just gonna stack some, but not very dense, just some random construction props around, and that should be good enough already. This one we don't want there anymore. This one we could actually put here, next to our entire tanking station. Yeah, mate, enjoy your lurk. And I guess everybody on Twitch has a lurk command. I don't have any. Maybe I should change that. But anybody is free to just go lurking without telling me about it beforehand anyways. I mean, I can adopt you, Elgando. Would be slightly awkward because you're a little older than me, but if you need somebody to take care of you, I can do so. Maybe I should ask my girl before I promise to adopt random people from the internet, but she will have to live with the consequences. And how come only one of your kids is napping? Because the bigger one doesn't want to nap anymore, I guess. Being around 6, napping is not cool anymore, so just the little one is sleeping. If I'm guessing correctly. I mean, I shouldn't ask Elgano to do more chores, because Elgano is doing all kind of chores for all of us the entire day. And he's making amazing surfaces and decals and everything for us, so I don't think Elgano is the right person to ask to do more nice things for us. Well, see, this is a funny point of life, because your old one is like, oh my god, I don't want to nap anymore. Meanwhile, there's old people like me who I would love napping every single day if I could afford to do so. But I just can't. But then, would I love to nap? I would absolutely love to nap. Maybe I have a new plan. Instead of me adopting Elgando, maybe Poplar has to adopt me. So I can take a nice nap during the day, while Poplar makes sure I'm not hungry in the evening. Honestly, pretty much good enough. We want some filling here and a very few little random props on that side, and then all of this side is pretty much sold, and this side is nearly sold as well. Up here it's a bit empty. Here we want to add a bit more, but again, not too much. In general, we've been very stingy here so far, because it's usually something I place a bit later on. But with vehicles, actually, should we not, since this is for tanking, should we not also actually have a tanker like this here, in case we need some more fuel? Or maybe at that point keep it entirely industrial here. Give me a spot where the bleeding of the decal doesn't hurt so much. It hurts everywhere. Can we adjust this? Which one is a decal bleeding onto our vehicle here? Not this, not... Nah, this is all... I hate this. Here we cannot touch the decal, forcing the bleeding anymore, because it's the top level one. But the cursor chooses the different ones first. We will have to live with it. We will just take a color that's very similar to the decal, so the bleeding is not as visual or visible. If you can't fix it, just hide it. And I guess the usual solution in your builds with grass is just put bushes over everything. We don't have bushes to put over everything, so we will just color match our bleeding. See, now it's just visible a bit in the bottom, and there I actually don't mind it much, especially from the front. Wow, terrible. And I was hoping finally I have a family that loves me, Poplar. But I guess I will keep dreaming. Also, I'm glad I can say things like this, because I would never tell anybody in my actual life that I stream. So I can say whatever garbage I want without having to worry. Yes, that's what all the women who left me in my life have said as well. I cannot believe it anymore, Poplar. And I also, like, why am I ever surprised that I make little progress in this build when I then spend like an hour to build out a small rural refueling station? I should not be surprised about our build being slow. But yes, wholeheartedly, this is coming together very well. I really like the idea of Baloo, because this seemed a bit unbelonging and empty prior, but now I think that's starting to come together really well. And alright, take your time, Elgando. If you're back, please tell me, because one of the things we have to do soon is using your new future mod, and it makes sense to use that while you're around as well. Because I can spoiler a little here, because here is where we're gonna use it as well. People who love mods, I'm sure everybody loves and knows Elgando, and this is one of the new Elgando mods. So if you have a very ugly, clownish looking door like this, and you want to put a proper door instead, that is a bit nice and rundown and actually fits your build nicely, you just take the mod that Elgando will hopefully soon release to everybody and put it where you have the door, and then obviously you should put it a bit better than I did, but no worries, we can just fix that easily. And then you get this. And it's amazing. It's not really sneak peek, I've been building with these since a while. Elgando and me have a romantic love relationship. I can say this because Elgando currently is AFK, else he will probably disagree in chat. But Elgando keeps sending me cool things like this. And look at these poplar. Can you see how amazing these are? This is all Elgando shutters and doors. And I mean, it's a bit hard to tell now because you don't have a pre and after. Because I don't have any vanilla shutters in here anymore. But look at these doors, look at these shutters. It's so... or not shutters, how are they even called? Are they called shutters? The garage doors. Whatever they are called. It makes such a difference. It's so good. Like actually so good. All of these are super beautiful. So, absolute gigantic fan of these. And it depends, it's not like we replace all doors, but then many of the doors are just too unfitting, especially in more rundown ones, because many of the doors look very officey, even in the industry buildings. But now, with Elgando's future mod, that's not really a problem anymore. And not only can you add doors or replace doors where you have them, but then even on something like this has no doors, no windows, right? This is just a boring brown box. But thanks to the Elgando's doors and windows, we can do something like this and just put our own proper industrial doors and windows. Because we always had like doors and windows from Crypto Gamer, though they are very clean, very much made for residential and good neighborhoods, but we didn't really have proper options for areas like this. And then yes, this garage door is probably gonna be a bit difficult to replace, and we might keep because it has this open mesh here, which generally looks a bit weird with these on top. So this one we probably won't touch. Same goes for these. Though here I don't mind it as much, but you see, in theory, if these would not have the windows, we should wait till Elgando is back so we can see this at least. But here is a good example, right? The vanilla shutters, they are so clean and plain, and then I love this one, for example, with the windows, and it's so easy. Doesn't take long to put. You just line it up and click, and it's beautiful. And I know he's been doing some more additions to the pack, so it's probably gonna be a bit more coming in future. But generally, the pack has been very close to being done since a while, so can't be too long till you guys have it in your hands as well. Again, this area I don't want to fool. I really think the last thing we probably need here is a few vehicles to put in front, and then we should be good. And maybe for once we should start placing sims in this area right away, because otherwise we're gonna have to revisit this entire gigantic area and play sims later, which I'm dreading already, so I guess we are gonna be clever for once and put it early. And there is another mod of Elgando which really carries his build heavily, and it's not the dirty roads. They always carry as heavily. But what I've never used more than in this area before, and it's tedious and annoying, but it also really pays off, are these amazing signs here. They just look 10 out of 10, and you should put them everywhere. Even if they don't properly make sense, it doesn't really matter. Nobody's gonna read them later on anyways. But the visuals of there being warning signs in areas where they belong is just 10 out of 10. Especially these are the ones that I really like. Because again, especially from this distance, right, nobody can see anymore what any of those do, but they add so much vibe and style to it anyways that I adore these, very much adore these. This one, for example. I'm confused that Canadian Moose doesn't use this one 24/7. I assume he just is not aware that he has this perfect no parking decal in there. Because the rest of this pack is more industrial, but this no parking loading decal, just perfect for any North American build. Yeah, see, this is a good example again, or actually not that good of an example because it has the window in there. So I'm not sure if we can properly replace this door. I think it's probably gonna look weird. Nope. Actually, it doesn't look weird. We just need to find one where the door handle is kinda covered. I love it. Maybe that is not a perfect door here, because this is actually a bit too run down, but it's so much better than the door that was there before, so I love it regardless. Alright, and mainly in this area is where I wanna have this. Okay, again, there we go. It's a small detail. I don't think it makes a world of difference. But I do think, especially if you take a screenshot of this area, these small variations do really make a big difference. And now we're generally, obviously not 100% happy, but happy enough with the general layout. It's time to really bring this into our vibes, and that means adding stains and mainly adding sand to really sell this being in Los Vagos. here is gonna be a bit difficult. We will get some bleeding with a stain here. We will just try to minimize it as much as we can, but we will not be able to avoid bleeding here entirely. So something like this should be smooth enough. Well, actually the bleeding here is very bad, but it's fine if we just go with a stain here on top of it. It's not that obvious. And then in the roof here, I was fearing, especially the metallic roof, show the sand very little. This one is a bit finicky with the terrain, but I guess we can try to use this as a base a little to bring some grudginess in there, and I will combine it with this one too. Make it a bit more sandy, but yeah, this is not a great roof to get the sandy look in that we generally trying to do. But yeah, especially from further away, I do think it still works pretty well. And I think it's really what brings things into this build, because here I think it's very easy to tell this is like worked in and this is still entirely untouched. And I think this just stands out of our sun too much in comparison. Even looking at this, I can right away see that this, if we move it up here, we can actually completely avoid the bleeding. But this also looks plain. Something like that, and that's a lot better right away. Again, here we also want to do the small roof, and I will just go over everything with stains, and this side should be fine. And this mesh here always makes me angry and annoyed, because I don't know what Colossal Order did with this, but this mesh is inverted, so the decals draw the wrong way around. Not a problem for the ones we're using here, beside them being really annoying to add onto it, but then we can't place graffiti on this, and obviously I love putting graffiti everywhere, so I don't like this much. But yeah, this is not generally, if you guys see me fail at something and struggle with it, it's nearly always a skill issue. With this, it's not a skill issue, it's actually the mesh being centered or like facing the wrong way around. I had a very nice talk over your mod in the duration when you were gone. So sadly you missed something nice, but also happy you are back, and we're gonna actually dive back into your mod in a second. So you did not miss all of it. Please. There you go. Okay, and these I don't think we can properly stain without looking weird. Yeah, not really. This one we can manage to stain a little. If we again move these up, so we don't get ugly bleeding. Yeah, this one we're just gonna avoid for now, and then we do a quick layer of staining, and then we can jump over to the other side. Alright, and probably even the light one. Even this one I find very strong, but it's the lightest big stain like this we have. Maybe add here and there. Oh, it's already very strong. Really, all of these stains, I wish we had lighter versions that are not as extreme as the stains we have currently in the game. Obviously, we forgot about the most important thing, as always in our build, we need graffiti for this to feel right. In fact, I was trying to find one of these earlier, but I couldn't. But I'm not sure if Poplar already seen this, that there is some nice... I mean, we had some Poplar graffiti in the past, but now there is also some nice Poplar tags instead. Okay, good enough. All of that can stay clean. This... Well, I mean, it's been a while. You used to stream every once in a while on Twitch, and maybe you still stream, but I'm just sleeping when you're streaming, I guess. But at least that I seen you stream on Twitch has been a while. And some love for Clovis, especially today, after the man has been so goddamn generous with us. I'm already one of the reasons why this pack makes me very excited, because really I can't wait for this to pop up in the screenshots of other people. I am already excited to see Los Vagos on top in the build of other people, because we've been building on Los Vagos for so long. I'm gonna build this for a long time still, so important to bring it out. Ah, shut up, Elgando. You know I tried. You know I spent like literally an entire week on... It's something I could rant over a long time, because yes, I think these look a lot too clean, right? And I would love graffiti in the game that is semi-transparent. The issue is, if I make graffiti semi-transparent, you cannot, in no circumstance anymore, layer them, because the moment you layer them, they look incredibly ugly. So yes, I can do that, but it does two things. First, you can't layer, and second is all of the other packs now suddenly look out of place because they have full transparency. And I could make all semi-transparent, but then we could also not use them anywhere similar to how we're using them right now. It's wholeheartedly frustrating. That sounds like you need to start saying no to people, because as much as I enjoy your content in other people's things, I also actually really enjoy your content, Poplar. So maybe you need to also do your own content sometimes, and not only for other people. But that sounds cool. That sounds like you're working on another interesting project again. Okay, here we go. Now, this actually feels... never mind. Here, now I can show you guys really quick what I mean with this mesh is inverted. Do you see what's happening here? I'm sure some of you guys are aware, some of you aren't. This mesh, for some reason, has this weird behavior. Every once in a while, you can manage to get it to stick correctly. But then, why is this happening? What is this mesh doing that it behaves the wrong way around? Here is a moment where we can get it correctly. But I can't turn it, I can't adjust it, no anything. Really, this mesh makes me crazy, you know? Like, why is this a thing? Why did they decide this has to behave this way? Well, I mean, as long as you can at least make videos about it, then I don't mind. Then we just have to wait a bit, but I can be patient. Yes, it's exactly what you're saying. The face of this is facing the other way around. I do understand technically why it acts this way, but then it's really annoying to work on it. So usually I just try to ignore that one as much as I can. And then can you make any kind of rough spoiler without saying too much on what is coming? Or can there not be any spoiler at all, Poplar? Okay, now we are nearly done. I always say that, and then I think of more things we can still do, because we still have to do this and brand all of our vehicles. So still not done. I assume that clearly Poplar is saying he will tell us everything about it now, and not that he can't say anything and he's running away. Don't worry, Poplar, we wouldn't misunderstand you. You can just tell us about it. This side doesn't really need branding. This side needs branding though, and it needs a big one. Actually, should go here instead. And then we want a single or even maybe multiple of the very, very big one, like this. I guess a single one here. And maybe one of the small ones here over the door as well. And then that looks a lot better, and now it's just the vehicles. And yes, I know we make slow progress, but then am I actually slow at placing the things? If I watch other streamers, I don't think I'm so slow at placing it. I just think I place a lot more things than a normal person playing this game. Okay, here we want this one. I know this is a bit tedious and annoying, and I don't love doing it, but then is the branding not something that just makes the biggest difference if you look at the build now and you see those branded trucks instead of the unbranded ones? I do think it makes an absolute gigantic difference for the visual of a build. In fact, we might even, I have not decided yet, down here we even branded all of the loaders in a bit of a weird way, where we branded the front here, and then we brand this here, which, thinking about it, like, this makes no sense, but now you imagine the truck actually dumps its load and it lifts up the bat in the back. Then this is praying over everybody, showing the right direction and making great advertising. So I quite like it. The question is if we want to repeat that everywhere. And the question I cannot answer. I'm not sure if we're going to be motivated enough for that. Yeah, I mean, making maps is tedious, though the truth is, I terraform so much in this. Yes, it's still generally pretty similar to what Rafterman has built. But if you look at this area in our build, the way it is here, and then if you look at this area in the actual original Rafterman map, it will be quite a bit different. we're trying to respect the topography, but without accepting the topography everywhere. Like, we do terraform while trying to keep the original state in general. I actually, Rafterman said something very interesting to me that might be big for you as well. Because Rafterman told me that he automated, or not automated, but built macros for placing props in maps that allow him to just hold down the mouse, but it individually clicks and it rotates automatically while he does so. Might be something you would want to look into as well, because I assume most of the time you spend while doing maps is just placing rocks and vegetation. So, might be interesting for you. And welcome in, Sunny. Nice to see you here. How is your evening going? Can we make those fit here? I think we managed before if we just lower this far enough. Then, yeah, we can squeeze 2 sand piles in and we just double this one up to the back to be a tad longer. And that looks perfectly fine. Yeah, curious. I was just wondering if you heard about it, because I was imagining that they should also be pretty nice for what you're doing. Curious. Very curious, actually, that everybody does something for vegetation. I just suffer when we do vegetation. I just suffer and click 1,000 times. Which it would be probably more clever doing what you guys do and find good solutions and work around it. But then I'm not known to be clever, so I just suffer. Again, we get a bit of ugly bleeding here, but it's not too bad because we'll go around it with vegetation anyway, so we'll hide quite a bit of this. I make nothing. I use a lot of AI to tell AI, hey, I need the following Python script, but then I'm too lazy to actually build that Python script, and probably half of them also would surpass my own knowledge, so I couldn't do them. But yeah, I don't think I do much but type something in a prompt. And it's mainly for things like that. Like, AI really is very silly and bare bones with many things, but then to automate silly, tedious tasks is amazing. And looking at the clock, I do think I should really desperately also take a little break. We're nearing the 3-hour mark, which on a short day is my entire stream. It's weekend, so I can go a bit longer. But I have not taken a single break yet, so close to the next ad break, I'm gonna find a nice vehicle to send you on a road trip with while I grab a drink and head to the toilet and such for a bit. I don't think I've saved today. Nope, I am literally saving. Elgendo, thank you. We've been playing for 2 hours and 49 minutes and I have not saved anything we did today. So that's not bad. And Sunny, I'm actually a bit critical with you because I've seen you stop playing Cities Skylines to become an apple farmer, which generally I'm very pro with. I've grown up around many apple trees, so I like it. But why would you make cider of it? Why not amazing, tasty apple juice, apple cake, anything but cider? And I guess I'm insane. I'm just too used to my game being very unlaggy, Algendo. So, I don't know, I last crashed multiple months ago and I don't have autosave and I just forget saving. But yeah, today I would have been tilted if we would have crashed and I would have lost the entire stream in work we did, and I would have probably ended stream and rage quit, but I don't know, till that happens, I'm gonna keep being silly and ignorant, I guess. Okay, and in 10 minutes there is an ad break, so let's use the time till and properly show off the next Elgando mod that most people watching a bit more have seen already, but maybe some people haven't. And next Elgando mod is absolutely amazing because it allows you to take very ugly garage shutters or garage doors like this and in a single click make them actually good looking and fitting to the visuals we generally have in our build. I love this mod wholeheartedly. I'm sure, I hope Elgando will release this to everybody soon. But in the meanwhile, just enjoy this absolute beauty happening here without us investing much work. Which way is the right way? This is the right way, okay. Because yeah, really, you just line them up, you take a single click, and look at how much better this looks to how it just looks. And I also quite like cider. It's not like I hate cider, but I would not make everything into cider. Maybe some cider and some apple juice and some... I love apple cake, really. It's the one cake I appreciate a lot. So can't harvest apples without at least making a little apple cake as well. I said this one we can't perfectly center because we'll bleed on the floor here a little. It's actually fine because we're under the plan, so we can perfectly center it. I will literally send you the recipe of the most well-kept family apple cake recipe that I'm gonna tell you people would kill for that recipe. I will send you that recipe when you're next harvesting apples in next year. And you will have to bake yourself a nice apple cake. And from that moment on, you will also make cider and apple cake, I'm telling you. Everybody working on secret projects. Why is everybody so secretive?
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
You have apples left. Oh shit. Welcome in, Raiders, and hope you had a nice stream, Chaos. Lately, I'm having bad luck because I love Chaos streams. I would love to watch a Chaos stream myself, but every time Chaos streams is literally the day where I decide to stream myself. So I've not been very successful in managing to be in a Chaos stream, but I would like to be. And thanks for the raid. How was your stream today? Yeah, I mean, it happens, especially with me. I guess it's difficult because I don't stream on a schedule and I just bounce in when it fits, but still. Glad to see you back from your holidays. How was the verdict of your trip in general. You enjoyed it. And Sunny, if you send me a message in Discord now, I'm not kidding, I will send you the recipe for the apple cake after stream, and you will bake it. And it is a very ugly cake, so don't expect to win prizes with it visually, but it's also the best tasting apple cake you will have ever eaten in your life. And yeah, I had no time today, so I didn't even see that you released a new video. I will have to check that out after stream. I like the sound of that. Yeah, again, I didn't know you were streaming, because I think when I went live, but to be honest, I also never really check before I go live, because otherwise I feel bad and don't stream. And then I just never stream, because always somebody's streaming, so lately I just click live without checking prior, but I'm not sure if you were streaming before. But trip was nice, and I hope your stream was also nice. What was out of... I know that's always a difficult question to ask, but I think it's probably my favorite question to ask people after their holidays. If you have to choose the one favorite thing you've seen in the entirety of your Canada trip, what would that be? Huh? I swear, I already love putting graffiti on the vanilla shutters. Now we have Elgendo shutters. I enjoy putting graffiti on them even more. Which dangerous, because eventually we will do nothing but putting graffiti on garage doors in this stream. Though again, I think I actually have some news that you will absolutely love and appreciate. Soon, we will have to do another rock recoloring stream. Because we will have to recolor rocks in this area, and not just a few of them. So it's gonna be time for another rock recolor stream. Which I know, it sounds exciting, and it is even more exciting than it sounds like. I can actually very much relate to that. I think my very favorite thing in the entirety of Canada has always been Vancouver Island, as far away from people as ever possible. And I had the best time there, because yeah, Canadian forests are absurd, like just absurd and beautiful. Okay, and looking, for once I'm being not the shittiest streamer on the entire platform. The ad break is in 2 minutes, and I will definitely have to take a toilet break this time. So we are gonna try to find you guys some police or park ranger. There we go, police right away. We will put the simulation to half speed to have a pretty first person ride. And then I will send you on a quick road trip. I just have to go pee and grab something to drink, so shouldn't be too long. And yeah, have an absolute wonderful good night, Chaos, and thank you so much for the raid. I hope sooner or later, I'll be able to catch a stream of yours. I'm sure you will stream again on Monday, because I plan on streaming on Monday. So as always, probably we double up on the same day. But maybe we won't. Let's see. And with that, have a wonderful good night, Chaos, and I will have a quick break. I'll be right back. Bye bye, guys. Alright, I'm back, cuties. And I hope not another traffic jam, but I don't know. I wasn't here. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. And I wish, but it depends, Kyla. In Los Vagos, our cute city here, nobody has to go to jail if you pay off the major. I'm sure we can find a different way than jail, but yes, if you can't pay off the major, you will totally go to jail, so depends on a case-by-case basis. Could be, couldn't be. And it's so weird that half simulation speed looks perfectly fine in first person, but then as soon as you leave first person, it's absolute snail speed. But on full speed, all of the road trips in our city look like a goddamn Michael Schumacher going through the city. This would be actual regular simulation speed on a road trip, which what is even happening? It's so fast, it's so goddamn fast. I mean, I'm sure it's just the FOV, but we try to change the FOV to a very like short one here before, and the look of it wasn't great either, so I guess we will keep putting half simulation speed for our road trips. And in case you're still here, Kyla, I'm actually very interested, because I know you started really digging yourself into playing CS1. How come you decided CS1 is the game to go for and not CS2 instead? Because there really is only a single reason nowadays I would see for playing CS1 over CS2. And it's your computer not handling CS2 properly. Though I guess it never hurts to try the first part first, and then if you like it, get the second one. I mean, sure, that also is a valid reason. I won't disagree, Poplar. Have you made many maps in CS1 already? Excuse my ignorance, I don't mean to be ignorant, I just don't have any clue about CS1. So, I mean, I know you as CS2 map maker, but I'm not sure if you always made maps in the past already. We need one with a handle in the right side, because that handle sticks out otherwise. I guess actually it's kind of invisible enough. Maybe this one hides it well enough. I'm sure Poplar does that gladly. Or I'm sure you will also find them if you just Google for Poplar Panda Rosa maps. Okay, so you already made more maps for CS2 as you made for CS1 is my takeaway then. So you are a true CS2 map maker, not a CS1 map maker, I guess. This is so frustrating. Like, this is literally my biggest frustration with the entire game right now. that this cursor control gives me no control over which elements I want to touch, like we have in Move It here. Because effectively, if you use those decals that we were using here that are very high, it means you can touch nothing in the entire area anymore. So if you want to recolor something, the way to do it, and I wish I was kidding, but this is the way we're doing it. We're taking it, we're moving it up high into the air where we can actually touch it and work with it, and then we change the color to something we appreciate. And after we're done placing the color, we go back to Move It and we revert our decision and we put them back to where they belong. It's wholeheartedly painful to do this, but currently there is no better way to do this unless you're clever and you wait placing your decals till a late step in your build. But I'm not clever, so for us that's not an option. We will have to suffer this way. Yeah, I also hope there is some way in future for how that is changeable, because it did not used to be as much of a problem in the past, but then the recent Real Vision update, which I understand why it's done, because yes, it allows these decals to be a lot more terrain flexible. But you can see how high they are, right? You see the 4-dimensional box, so they literally cover everything in this area, and I cannot touch anything. So curious, CS1 had that. I think that's very interesting to look at CS1 and then look at what they had, because generally I'm sure most of the CS1 things we will be able to get into CS2 eventually. I hope so, at least.
I wish we had a cactus.
I also wish we had a cactus. Great noise. To be fair, I will do some research, because maybe we can have a cactus with right everywhere matches right now. Probably we shouldn't use that very much, because it won't be great for the performance, but maybe 1 or 2 cactuses are possible now. I'm probably being overly positive and dreaming, and it's not gonna be a thing, but maybe it could be theoretically. Yes and no. The truth is, Elgando, like this one, for example, I adjusted all of them, so they work very different. I love this decal. This is probably my favorite of the new Real Vision decals. Looks absolutely horrible if you use it like this. But then if you lower or raise it, and you fade it to a very harsh degree, actually like very harsh degree, something like this, look at the texture you're getting from it. It's beautiful, it's perfect. And yes, it is super terrain flexible due to the ease of it. So I understand why he did it for some things. What I don't understand is why he decided all of these super high decals have to draw on terrain and buildings, because they are only pretty much usable if you locally adjust them for yourself, which I guess most people won't, so I would not use the online version of Real Vision. I think that is very hard to work with. But then if you locally adjust those, yeah, they are really nice. I wish you would not have to locally adjust them, but you kinda do have to. Is this hiding the handle well enough? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It has pros and cons, so you know I myself have been fairly critical of this change, so it's not like I would have done it the same way. All I can say is I see why he decided to do it that way. does not mean that I do think is a great direction. Yeah, no, I don't think they're very problematic, to be honest. Like, the more I look at it, the handle seems very obvious before you place the door. But then here there is a handle under your decal, and sure, if you go this close, this looks bad. But then if you look at it from any actual realistic perspective, even as close up as this, it's pretty much unnoticeable. So I don't think the handles are a proper problem. Because yes, there is a very few ones that are so big that then you can't use a door, but there is nothing you can do about it. So I don't think you should change anything there. Yeah, I mean, and that works great. Like, I can tell that you try to hide them, because yeah, they hide very easily. It does not need much to be done.
That's what she said.
I could have seen it coming. I should know Elgando well enough by now to should have seen that coming.
That's what she said.
The only thing I absolutely, and I guess, yeah, I also should have seen that coming. Don't do it again. Please don't do it again. I would deserve to hear it again, I guess, but it is gonna be a never-ending circle. I can't change that, Elgando. I literally googled if it's possible for me to make the delay on those redeems faster, but they are too slow. Like, they really... I know it kills the moment, but it's nothing I can do about it, sadly. And I guess at least somebody in chat was clever enough to see the second one coming, because even after the first one, I did not see the second one coming in the slightest. Which I guess, yeah, everybody with a half a functioning brain could see that coming, but sadly that also excludes
That's
me.
what she said.
I'm gonna cry, Elgando. Is that what you want? This is cyberbullying. Holy shit.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
Welcome in, Jonah and gang. How was your stream today? What have you cutie been playing? Is it Cities or has it been something different today? Maybe Planet Coaster? But welcome in, everybody, and hope you guys had a nice stream. For everybody, I actually talk about Jonah in this channel every once in a while, because I think Jonah has a very interesting and different approach to playing cities than me, because he goes in absolutely gigantic scale. So highly recommend everybody in here to check out some Jonah streams sometimes. I can't shout out Jonah because he bounced. No, I can. I just can't type. See, this is why I'm a terrible streamer. But yeah, Jonah builds absolutely amazingly beautiful, crazy cities that I do think are very interesting, because I think you play cities completely different from the way I do, but very enjoyable. Like, wholeheartedly enjoy seeing your cities and your streams, so everybody get your ass over there and check them out. In fact, I told Clovis this, and I'm not sure if you would ever be interested in it, but I know that Clovis has been... Oh god, we have toilets there already, don't want to go overboard. But Clovis has been interested in making a podcast someday, and I told him that one of the topics that I personally would find very interesting in a podcast is having you and Dar talk over the big maps, because you two are the ones who I've mainly seen playing with it and probably have the most experience with it by now, and I do think that would be a super interesting topic for people to talk and learn about. And things here are absolutely fabulous. We are building this city since a long time. I'm very much slow, so this took 5 months or something. And since 2 weeks or something, we dedicate all of our time to this area of the map, which I think this part is what you see in. This is the mine area that we build out, and the only part that is somewhat finished in this build. But now we're working on this part, which is a quarry, and initially I just planned the quarry to be here, but suddenly things escalated a little and we have half the quarry up here, up the mountain. So we are building out that slowly, and then eventually we're gonna finish in the most exciting part, at least to me, and it's gonna be this kinda abandoned, run-down, shitty old mine, and then this city is supposed to be a half-dying gold rush town, where I want some places to still be functional and in use, but then I want half of the buildings to literally have window boards and be run down and closed, so looking forward to this. And that's very cool, because maybe I need to tell Clovis, because I would think that's so cool, and I do think, again, that you and Dar probably are the two people, at least, who I've seen play with a big map mod the most. And I come from playing a lot of Path of Exile in the past, and in Path of Exile there is a very big thing that there is a quadrillion podcasts for the game, because it's a game that people like to play while having YouTube or a podcast or something open in the second window. And I think that Cities would be a perfect game for that as well, where people like to spend a lot of time and slowly build and detail out their cities. And having something like a podcast running in the back is something that I personally usually do when I'm not streaming and I'm playing Cities. So a Cities podcast would be absolutely amazing, and I'd love that. Oh, is that why they are changing the water? Because to nobody's surprise, we're in the middle of the desert. If there's one thing I've never properly cared about, then it's water simulation. Because yes, we have this river here, and then we have a few very small places of water, a lake here, with this canyon here, and then we have our, I don't know, midtown beach, I guess. But for us, the water simulation changes won't do too much, I guess. Yeah, I'm very curious on the water simulation as well, because they already said that it will only apply to new maps. And clearly I am not gonna be willing to abandon our save for getting the new water simulation. So I'm curious if there's gonna be a mod solution that allows us to maybe port it later on, or if that means everybody who is playing on an old map will not be able to enjoy the new water simulation. Which again, for me, not that important, but for other people with really big and detailed builds, definitely gonna be a problem. And welcome in, Pork Chop. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally aware. Like, I would obviously still be be a bit in pain if we lose Los Vagos. But I am very well aware that this save is pretty much destined to eventually die. Because, yeah, modded saves, especially if they're as modded as what we're doing here, have a big chance of breaking eventually. And again, that would be my own doing. I would be tilted and a bit sad, but then would I be angry? Obviously not. I willingly accepted that I can break my game. So, not too bad. I mean, in the case of it being tied to existing water sources, it shouldn't be that big of a deal for me, because I pretty much just have natural or like hand place water sources. So I guess I could just replace them instead. And why is it in general that with a big map mod that you're not able to use it on an existing save? Because I guess you need to actually prepare the map to be able to work in a format that big. Okay, maybe a single small logo over here, and then that should be fine. And we can also go in and start staining here. Yeah, I mean, I do that. Obviously, I still hope that my save won't break, but I am very well aware that I'm accepting a big risk modding. The truth for me, though, is just, I know that there's people who are like, I'm just gonna play without assets then, because I don't want to risk my city to break. I would just not play the game, right? Like, for me, it's either I mod the game, and then, yeah, I have to live with everything breaking, and that's fine. But I don't enjoy unmodded gameplay in cities, so the solution of just not using decals for now, for me, would pretty much go hand in hand with, okay, then I'm not playing the game for now. So I'd rather be willing to accept that my game can die at any moment than just waiting and not playing it for now. I mean, I think some games are great without mods. In fact, I would, if cities would have more things built in from the get-go that I consider essential for the game, I wouldn't mind playing it unmodded. But especially in cities, I think the experience unmodded is very bare bone and boring compared to the modded experience, so I don't want any business in it. Yeah, see, because I see something that a lot of experienced asset creators, especially on the official CS2 modding Discord, I see a sentiment a lot that is pretty much like, oh, I just play the game without decals for now, because I know decals can break eventually. And I'm like, yeah, I also know they can break, but if I don't use them, then I'm not playing the game. What content is there to be had without? Yeah, I think for me it's gonna be very similar. Like, I very much and well know that Los Vagos probably will die sooner or later. And I know it's my fault, I know I agree to it. Will I still rage quit the game for a month and not play cities afterwards? Totally, I absolutely will do exactly that. But then have I ruined my own game and willingly agree to that? Also, absolutely. Take screenshots of what? whom? You mean me or you mean Poplar? Because one of the reasons that I started streaming, yeah, I guess, but a part of the reason why I started streaming is because I'm very bad at taking screenshots and people always ask me what I'm building, and I always build somewhat cool things, but never really posted much screenshots of it. So I decided I just have to put on Twitch while I'm building, and then I don't have to take screenshots. So I guess especially for that I do have my Vods and something like that. And I'm not sure if that is gonna happen eventually, but in general, Sunny always said that he'd like to showcase Los Vagos sometimes. And I always told him it's so unfinished, you can't showcase a disaster city like this when it's half built. But I told him that after the mine is built out, I'm gonna send him the save, so maybe we will get a proper Los Vagos showcase sooner than later. And this is all starting to look alright. We're missing a lot of vehicles and like small prop work. But yeah, not yet. And I mean, I shouldn't say this because Sunny said he probably will need a long time to finish it and all, but there is no rush. Like alone, me sending him the save would give me a good feeling because I am being a bit ignorant. It's my gaming computer. I back up my work computer all the time. But I have not a single save of any file on this computer because it's just for gaming nonsense. So if something happens, everything is gone. So yeah, showcase would be nice before it dies. And obviously for me it's a big honor that Sunny even considers showcasing my city, because Sunny is one of the people who I like to watch before I even own the game myself, so very cool. One mod that's very unimportant, but I absolutely would love to have in a game as well, out of pure curiosity, but is a mod that counts the amount of decals you place in a save. Because I am wholeheartedly fairly sure that we're past 5,000 decals in this area alone, with what we've been placing here so far. And I'm not sure if that's just me thinking that or if that's actually the reality. I would actually love to be able to check that somehow. Yeah, Sunny is cool, absolutely cool. Like for me, one of the reasons why I will always love Sunny is not only that I think he has an amazing style of building and a very good eye for aesthetics. I also think he has an absolutely amazing and smooth voice, and it's a pleasure to listen to. For me, with my thick German accent, it's always something I'm very jealous of. Even like Jonah, for example, like absolutely beautiful, smooth, crisp English, and then I sit here struggling to find words and have my thick accent. That alone is something I will always appreciate. Like, I really, like, Sunny has such a nice voice. Jonah, again, also super calming voice. There's a few people in the community where, even if the content would not be good, I could just listen to the voice to space out or something. I guess so. I mean, who likes his own voice? I had a bit of a fighting moment with myself when I made my first and only YouTube video for the Moose competition, and I had to voice over and listen to my own voice. I was in pain for an entire evening while I was doing the voiceover, because goddamn is it painful to have to listen to yourself. I tried to find that already, because yes, you're right, like in theory we should be able to analyze something here, and yes, I can find some numbers. Where even is that again? In any of these menus? I spent so little time in here. Is it one of the watchers? I've been digging through these before, trying to find something. But I couldn't find anything out of actual interest. But that should be doable in a mod or something as well. I've never used Scene Explorer, but I know that we have Scene Explorer as a mod that many of the code modders use to figure how things behave under the hood. Is that something that Scene editor might be able to look into? Because really, it would be so curious to get any numbers for like objects placed or something. I mean, wholeheartedly, we're getting there. One of the things we really need to touch, but I asked Jay, probably is sleeping by now, I hope at least, if he can maybe make us a version of this in metal. And obviously this is horrible and doesn't look proper yet, but the wood version is the one I really want to use in this old rundown part of it. I don't really want to reuse that over here again. So I'm a bit hesitant in fully working this out, because till we have this in its final form, I don't know exactly where we have to move it. In all reality, we can't move it so much, because I said this many times, we're just tricking. This is a giant building, we're just hiding half under the hill to get only the interesting elements we want from it. So we can't really freely move it too much, but we can slightly adjust the placement of it here at the hill. So I do think to finalize this, we need to wait till we have a more finalized part here. So I guess one of the things we should do is finally tackle this horrible area here. And first thing is that we should assemble these loaders. I just thrown down here without properly putting together first. And then we will have to recolor a lot in this area, which is going to be painful because the decals go over everything here. So recoloring in this area is going to be tedious, but maybe we can just touch one here. For these is gonna be fine, for the trucks is gonna be annoying, I guess. But yeah, that wasn't so bad. The question is if we have to angle any of them. I don't think so though. I think the terrain here actually is flat enough to get away with it. But yeah, sadly we can't reach any of the trucks without moving them, so let's begin with the annoying part of this build, and it's moving everything up so we can recolor and then we can move everything down again. Again, you saying that there was a solution to this problem in CS1, Elgando, gives me hope, because we really need a solution for this in CS2. And I guess this is a solution, but a more appropriate solution than what we're doing here. Okay, and now we go back into move it, and now we move all of them down. Now the next issue we have, though I think in this area it's actually not such an issue, is that if we need to angle any of this, which we only need to angle this one slightly, we have to angle this one slightly. Yeah, never mind, we have to angle 3 of them. These both need some angle to the front, and that one needs angle to the side. So we have to do the same annoying thing again. And this time we're actually gonna do it one by one, because we can't reverse anyway, so we do need to move manually. So we take this, try if we can hit the right angle right away. Move it back down. It's so tedious and annoying, but I don't know any better way than this. Beside obviously being clever and placing your decals later and not having to do this entirely, but then that's not what I did, sadly. Two should be maybe fine for this one already. Have you ever used Scene Explorer for anything, Elgando? I love on this, welcome in. And going very good, though it is getting pretty late here, so sooner or later I will have to find somebody to raid to. Initially I thought maybe we can raid Jonah, but then Jonah raided us, so I guess we have to find somebody else playing Cities. If somebody is playing Cities, I hope at least. And is there something in Scene Explorer how you can track decals? Or is that not a thing you can track in Scene Explorer? Because I know I've seen before that people use Scene Explorer to find the amount of placed trees in a map, which also is very interesting to see a number there. And that seemed possible, but then I have no clue if you could also track decals itself. There we go. But yeah, no, going perfectly fine, Lavonist. We're still working on the same boring area we've been working on for a long time. But it's gotten a lot bigger. I don't think the last time you watched, I don't think we had any of this part up the hill here yet. And we started diving in and building out this entire area on this side of the train. So when we're finally done with this, we can finally take on this part where we started preparing a very little down here, and we worked quite a bit on this part here as well, which is not 100% set in stone, but generally the layout of all of this is pretty much set in stone, so it's no more figuring what we want to build. Now it's pretty much mainly spending hours and hours on detailing this out, but the layout of this is really set in stone. And this entire site, again, this all is detailed out and we're happy with this. So this is a good... Hold on, sir. Who allowed you to put up ugly signs on my building? Get your ass away. You can throw trash on my roof, I don't mind, but don't put your ugly vanilla logo on the roof. But yeah, slowly we're starting to get very happy with this. Then one of the long things that probably is gonna take us maybe an entire stream or something like that is that I want to build this entire area out here to look like this. But as you guys can clearly see, I managed to somehow break this decal and we get this very weird blue shine in many angles. So I want to fix that decal first before we dive in and fully build out this area. But what I love, and actually we can see it right here now, cause we put a second big part of the quarry on top of the building, we now actually get cars using this twisted pine road up here. And I love it. It's so cool. This is such a vibe to see the vehicles driving up and down here. That's the main reason why we built this entire part up here. And I do think this entire part up here should have been there anyway. So it's great that that forced us to do this, because one of the reasons I really like this build is the amount of depth it has. Like, we're really working well with the terrain here in the bottom and in the top. So I'm starting to be really happy with this. Still a long way to go, but getting closer and closer to where I really want to be with this. And how are you doing today yourself, love, on this? Again, I love this decal. I think it's too strong if you don't really fade it strongly. Actually, I'm fading it in the wrong direction here, because if we lower it, we get it to be very strong in the lower parts. But I just want the upper parts of it, so we're gonna fade it upwards instead. If you ever wonder what I mean when I say fade, pay a lot of attention to this value here while I'm placing decal. It's pretty much getting adjusted all the time, because that does a lot with the look of the decals, and I don't generally like the vanilla look of most of these so much. But then if you blend them like we're doing here, then I think many of those become really pretty. Same goes for this one. I think it looks absolutely horrid when not blended, but then if you blend it, it's one of the best decals in the game. Because really, we use super little of the decals here. I don't think we even make proper use of it, but it adds a lot of natural shade and variation to the ground, which I do think makes a gigantic difference. We do get a bit of Z fighting here though, so maybe we have to redo this. This I want to smoothen and blend even more as well. And I would ask Gray if he's streaming soon, but Gray always streams in the middle of the night. Is anybody in my chat planning on streaming Cities today and hopefully anytime soon? If so, I would love raiding out some more soon. Getting better. We're actually getting some word Z fighting here. All of the decals we're using are generally very unproblematic with Z fighting. But regardless, up here, look at this. And this one is one that hurts. This one we definitely sadly have to redo. Because that Z fighting is unacceptable if it keeps blinking the entire time. And sadly, because we have so many decals here, that's gonna be very painful. I think I'm probably gonna save that for off stream. In fact, even though I feel a bit sad because Jonah just raided, but it's nearly 2 AM here. and I don't want to sleep the entire day tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna find a nice... Oh, is he gonna go down again? If he goes down again, I'm gonna send you on a road trip down the Pine Road. That'd be very cool, and I'm gonna have a quick look if there is somebody we'd like to raid on right now. Oh, this is perfect. See, not even this. I'm actually getting frustrated. I cannot even choose this police car. Because we need a solution for this, that I can have a filter on this cursor, like in Move It here. Because the normal cursor is just unusable in these areas. Maybe if we drive a bit further, or we don't have decals. But holy shit, this is frustrating. And thank you so much for the follow. That's very, very nice of you. The God of Kanso, I hope I did not completely butcher that, but after looking at your name for a little, that's what I imagine your name is. If I pronounce it wrong, I'm sorry, but I tried my best, but appreciate it anyways. And now we can take a road trip down our crazy Pine Road, and I actually gonna look with you guys for a moment, and then I'm gonna jump over and find somebody to raid. Again, this road itself is not detailed out at all, we will get to that. But here we can see again what I just said with the decal being blue and weird and shiny in many angles. I don't know what happened there. And this road is definitely not safe, but then it's Los Vagos, so I can totally live with that. Alright, okay, yeah, then I'm happy that I nailed that. And again, thanks for the follow and welcome in. Even though today it's gonna be very short. Because again, it's so late here. I'm sadly not from Canada, or else I could stream a bit more for you today. But I'm from Germany, it's getting very late here. And yeah, it is super weird. But I think it's something messed with the map. I just deleted something out of there real quick because it should have been a fix, but I guess it wasn't. Yeah, I just removed the normal map. I think somehow that had weird effect on the colors. We can have a look at it after stream. I'm just opening real quick. And nobody that we at least usually watch is playing Cities. So I am unsure. I see one person that at least has modded in their title, which is the least I like. But yeah, I don't like raiding two people that I don't know anymore. So I think we're gonna just take the safe route. Sadly, we can't raid out within the same category, which I prefer if possible, but I'm gonna send you guys over to Lishi,
Bye, have a great time.
who also sometimes plays Cities. Not generally, but when she plays Cities, very enjoyable. Today it's not Cities though, but generally nice vibes over there, so hope you guys have a nice evening over there. And again, thank you so much for tuning in, very appreciated. Happy to have all of you here. And if you would like to see my next streams, I don't stream on a schedule, so either follow on Twitch or join my Discord, where I usually ping before I go live. And with that, all of you cuties have an absolute wonderful evening and enjoy your night. Thank you guys, and bye bye.